The first official reviews have come out for Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, and so far it is being hailed as an incredible movie from the auteur-director. There have been lots of reactions following the world premiere in Paris yesterday, and I'm going to be discussing all of them and my reaction to them in this video. Before I get into the reviews and reactions though, if you want to keep up to date on any of my content for Oppenheimer during its release, then don't forget to support this upload by giving it a like rating, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your notifications. But without further ado, let's discuss the official reviews and reactions for Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. So Nolan's latest film has finally been unleashed to its first public audience at the Paris premiere for the movie. The first social media reactions have been posted online, and it includes those from journalists and critics who were able to see the film there. The full-length reviews will be coming out next Wednesday, just 2 days before it releases, but the early takes on it are heavily suggesting that Christopher Nolan has delivered one hell of a film with Oppenheimer. Many of the reactions praise the intensity, the intimacy, the invention within the biopic genre that this film is structured upon, and of course the performances, which some are indicating will be potential Oscar nominees in the year ahead. There's also praise for the hour-and-a-half soundtrack that Ludwig Göransson has composed for the film, with some saying that it may even be the best in a Nolan picture. And of course we've had plenty of iconic scores from multiple composers under the filmmaker, with many coming from that of Hans Zimmer in the past. So with there being a lot of praise for all the different elements involved with Oppenheimer, let's dive into the early reactions and see what those who have seen the film have been saying. Matt Matham, who is the deputy editor of Total Film magazine here in the UK, said that Nolan's latest film left him stunned, and added that it's a character study on the grandest scale, with a sublime central performance by Cillian Murphy. He continued saying that it's an epic historical drama, but with a distinctly Nolan sensibility, the tension, structure, sense of scale, startling sound design, remarkable visuals, wow. Associated Press film writer Lindsay Barr called the film a spectacular achievement in its truthful, concise adaptation, inventive storytelling, and nuanced performances from Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Robert Downey Jr., Matt Damon, and the many others involved. She continued by saying, "It's hard to talk about something as dense as this in something as silly as a tweet or thread, but Oppenheimer really is a serious, philosophical, adult drama that's as tense and exciting as Dunkirk." And the big moment, that moment, which is the atomic bomb explosion, is awe-inspiring. Sunday Times writer Jonathan Dean posted his reaction and said, "Totally absorbed in Oppenheimer, a dense, talky, tense film, partly about the bomb, mostly about how doomed we are. Happy summer, Murphy is good, but the support essential. Damon, Downey Jr., Alden even bring gags. An audacious, inventive, complex film to rattle its audiences." He did give one small bit of criticism, adding, "The downside, the women are badly served. Emily Blunt only gets out of her stressed mother role, but it's straight into my Nolan top 3 alongside Memento and The Prestige." Gregory Elwood of The Playlist said, "I was skeptical, but Oppenheimer has stuck with me since seeing it last week. Yes, it's 3 hours, but in a dense Scorsese way, and the last 20 minutes, why Emily Blunt clearly took the role, bring its 3 narrative threads to a moving conclusion. Cillian is what you'd expect, not a read, he's very good, but this is Robert Downey Jr.'s moment. RDJ is so good in Oppenheimer, it makes you sad this is his first on-screen work in 5 years. Emily Blunt is sorry, incendiary, supporting actress nominee time, and Matt Damon delivers another great performance after Air. The cast overall is incredible, with Rami Malek and Gary Oldman killing it in small roles, and Florence Pugh absolutely steals the 20 minutes she's in. I do not say this lightly, but Ludwig Göransson's score is an utter masterpiece on its own. Also, heard the album will be an hour and a half long, and yes, we're talking a lot of nominations, assuming box office is strong. Is it Christopher Nolan's best film? Pondering. Robbie Collin posted his reaction saying, "I'm torn between being all coy and mysterious about Oppenheimer and just coming out and saying it's a total knockout that split my brain open like a twitchy plutonium nucleus and left me sobbing through the end credits like I can't even remember what else." And for all those who've groused about the lack of sex in Christopher Nolan's earlier work, boy oh boy are you getting some sex as only Nolan could stage it in this one. Bilge Abiri posted, "Oppenheimer is incredible. The word that keeps coming to mind is fearsome. A relentlessly paced, insanely detailed, intricate historical drama that builds and builds and builds until Nolan brings the hammer down in the most astonishing, shattering way." And Elsa Keslassi wrote, "A sign that French audiences loved Oppenheimer is that they stayed in front of the Grand Rex Theatre long after the film ended to debate about it." This reaction does seem quite fitting and part intriguing because Nolan talked a bit before about how the ending of this film will pose conversations in a similar way to the final frames of Inception. And having read the book that this is based on myself, I can only imagine what questions it will pose. Regardless, it definitely seems like it's going to be very provoking and one that leaves you talking about it well after. And to me, that is an early sign of a potential great Nolan feature. There were a few other standout reactions that came online too, and many of them seemed to continue heaping the praise for certain aspects of the film. Whether it be the highlight of Downey's performance as Lewis Strauss, or Cillian Murphy's driving acting, the haunting structure of Nolan's full piece, or the frames captured by the director's DP, Hoyte van Hoytema. Josh Horowitz of Happy Sad Confused said, "Oppenheimer is one of, if not Nolan's best work, and that comes from a huge Nolan admirer. I've seen it twice, impeccable immersive filmmaking of the highest order. Cillian Murphy gets the role he deserves. In love with Downey's work, this one demands your attention. I'm ready for a full-on award season for Robert Downey Jr. His work in Oppenheimer is stellar, and the reminder we didn't need that he's one of our best actors and movie stars." Journalist Simon Thompson put, "Oppenheimer is powerful stuff. Cillian Murphy's flawless awards-worthy performance is next level. Every player in this rich ensemble cast is at the top of their game. Christopher Nolan's haunting opus is remarkable, and Hoyte van Hoytema's execution of his vision is breathtaking." Stephen Weintraub said, "Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer is incredible. Every aspect of the film is worth talking about, from the brilliant performances to Hoyte van Hoytema's amazing work behind the camera to the way Nolan tells the story. The 3-hour runtime flies by. See it in IMAX 70mm if you can." And finally, Sean O'Connell wrote, "I think Oppenheimer is Nolan's JFK. Cillian Murphy mesmerizes in a star-studded moral quandary about scientific theory becoming deadly facts. The entire cast is outstanding, and while the history is dense, it's Nolan's most streamlined and accessible." So it looks like Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer is, to many who have seen it, one of the filmmaker's very best works brought to the big screen. It's not just a few elements being praised, it's pretty much a lot of the film across the board, whether it be the performances, the emotive and powerful storytelling, or the elevating filmmaking to bring it to life. I mean, I expected a lot knowing Nolan's past films and reading the material that this story is adapted from, but hearing the praise be this high is just so exciting. We'll have to wait for the full-length reviews next week, but to be honest, with them coming out just a day or so before the release of the film, I think we already have all the hype we need going in. In just over a week, we'll be putting all our expectations at the door and hopefully coming out of the theatre overwhelmed by the cinematic experience and ready to watch it again well into the future. And like the reactions make clear, it seems like it's a film that's going to leave us with many questions and debates come the end credits. Hopefully it does live up to all the hype that was shared in these reactions, and honestly, I just can't wait to see what Nolan and co have cooked up for us with Oppenheimer. But they were the first official reviews for Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. Of course, everyone's individual reaction is the most important, and these early reviews shouldn't really change that. But with all the positive reactions coming out, I couldn't be any more excited to see it. Hopefully audiences enjoy the film when they get a chance to see it next week, and we will all soon know what the general consensus is towards it. I myself will be watching it in the coming days, and I will be giving you all my thoughts here on the channel in multiple uploads. I will be covering the film in depth with breakdowns and extended video essays, so make sure to keep a lookout for whenever I post. But let me know down below in the comment section what you personally think towards the early reviews and reactions, alongside whether it gets you even more hyped for the release of the film next week. For lots more videos surrounding Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer during its release, then subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating and follow me on social media via the links in the description. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.